You ever notice how some players in ranked play just flew to the top, like Crim and Erie, especially pretty early on? Like, you take a peek at your friends list, and then you see that they're 2 divisions higher than they were a couple of weeks ago. Meanwhile, you've been grinding in the same rank for a couple of weeks. And the crazy part is, some of those players aren't even really dropping crazy stats. Meanwhile, you're putting up solid numbers, playing the objective, and somehow you are still hard stuck. So what's actually going on? Because the difference between players that climb quickly and players that stay hard stuck doesn't have anything to do with aim or settings. It's almost always these small habits and mental decisions that most players don't even realize they're making. And once you start to notice it, you'll start seeing exactly why certain players rank up faster than everybody else. Really quick though, I apologize for the recycled footage. I've been dealing with some technical difficulties over the weekend. If you are returning, of course, but if this is your first time here, the footage is new to you anyways. But enjoy some gameplays from CMGs and Rank Plays launch weekend. Now, when it comes to the difference though, obviously gun skill matters. If you can't win fights at all, ranked is going to be tough no matter what. But once you get around mid to late plat and above, most players actually have decent mechanics. And this is one hard pill to swallow. At that point, the real skill gap becomes decision making, awareness, and discipline. As somebody that kind of slips into autopilot while playing, I'm the guy you want to listen to here. And the players who climb the fastest usually have a few habits that separate them from everybody else. Now, I glossed over it. One of the biggest differences between ranks is decision speed, not reaction time. But there is a decision speed gap. A lot of players kind of wait until something happens and then they react to it. But higher level players are already anticipating the situation before it even starts. Now, I'm getting this intel for either playing with players that are much better than I am in the Discord, streaming to them in the Discord, or even some of you guys in the YouTube comment section here. So the better players are already thinking, where could the enemy be coming from? Or if I lose this fight, what does this do to our spawn? So by the time the gunfight happens, their brain has already processed the scenario. And that's why some players always seem one step ahead in ranked. Another thing is thinking long term. Now, I know in Call of Duty, long-term could be a strange buzzword. I'm not saying at P1 you're already thinking about P5, which may or may not be a bad idea, but ultimately, better players predict the next 10 seconds. A lot of players kind of just play moment to moment, focusing on what's directly in front of them, which leads to you being reactive. Ultimately, better players are proactive, but the players who climb the fastest are constantly thinking about the next 10 seconds of the game. For example, they know when a spawn flip is about to happen, they expect the enemy team to flood the hill together, and they know when somebody is probably trying to pinch the back lane. So instead of reacting late, they're already positioned for that scenario. And that one habit alone can completely change how the maps feel. And the good thing is, everything we are talking about in this video, you can start practicing it right now or the next time you boot up Black Ops 7 to play rank play. Next, they process information faster. This is another underrated difference though. The really good players are constantly absorbing small details like teammate deaths, kill feed patterns, minimap pings, where gunfights are happening. A lot of players don't notice these things until after the fact. And it can take some practice just trying to digest all this information quickly while being able to execute on the map efficiently, but better players kind of notice them in real time. So when a teammate dies on one side of the map, they instantly realize, okay, that lane is open now. And they adjust before the enemy can take advantage of it, or they do their best at least. And now this one is huge, talking about hard points specifically. They play the map, not just the hill. A lot of players think that playing the objective means just sitting in the hill. But better players understand that map control wins the hill. At the end of the day, if you don't have a setup on P2, it kind of doesn't even matter because it's going to get broken pretty fast anyways. A lot of the times when you're dealing with better players, sometimes the best play isn't sitting inside the objective trying to soak a full 60. Sometimes it's blocking spawns, holding a power position, and making sure you're cutting those rotations off. It doesn't always look flashy, but it makes the objective way easier to hold when you set up around it. But this next one might actually be the most underrated habit of them all, and almost nobody talks about this. One thing good players do is they almost subconsciously study the lobby within the first minute or two. By the time they're at P3, they know who keeps hitting the same lane, who ego childs everything, who rotates early, who plays slow. Not only on their team, but on the enemy team as well. And once they notice those patterns, they stop reacting to players and they start predicting them. Again, they turn the game into a proactive game instead of a reactive one. So instead of being surprised by fights, they're already waiting for them. That's why sometimes it feels like certain players have perfect timing every single life. It's not that they have walls or that they're guessing, they're reading habits. But sometimes maybe it could be an educated guess. And this one might sound weird, but a lot of the best ranked players actually play pretty boring. A lot of people think high-level gameplay is always flashy. I don't really know when that started. I don't know if it's Fortnite. I don't know if it's players like Shotzi. I don't know. But in reality, it's usually very disciplined and patient. So think Hercules. They'll hold the angle for 15 seconds, they'll rotate early instead of chasing kills, and they'll lock down one side of the map instead of running around looking for fights. And one thing that I see, especially in Platinum, is players just running around looking for action. They don't care if they team kill in the process of trying to get a kill, and sometimes they can just make things a nightmare looking for kills. At the end of the day, if you play the objective, the kills will come. And climbing players understand that sometimes the boring play is the winning play. Quick side note though, if you're someone who grinds rank for hours like I do, focus and reaction time start dropping off after a while. So let me put you on to my guys over at Advanced Gaming Supplements. Clean energy, focus, and hydration supplements without that crazy crash that most energy drinks give you. For me, Monster is like freaking laughing gas, and Red Bull sends my heart rate through the roof. So if you're running long rank sessions and you want to stay locked in, this would be the second link down in the description, and use code NERVS10 NRVS10 to cop one of these banger flavors off of the Advanced GG store. Back to the video though. Better players make the map feel smaller. A lot of players experience the map like it's huge and chaotic. Enemies could be anywhere, but better players are using positioning to essentially shrink the map by controlling certain lanes and choke points that limit or make enemies second guess how they want to play the map. So instead of worrying about 10 different angles, they're only taking care of about 2, maybe 3 if they're like that. That's why higher level ranked players look so calm during fights. Their version of the map is way more simple. And another thing is, they don't waste lives. This one is huge, and this is another one that I've been trying to beat into my own brain here. Just because you'll respawn, that doesn't mean you should play like it. Now let me explain. You're probably not running up the middle of the map in search and destroy, right? You're probably looking for some info. You're probably holding a lane, using your equipment if you have it, throwing your nades, throwing your attacks, that kind of stuff. You kind of have to value your life in the exact same way, even if you are playing respawn. Because a lot of folks die for nothing all the time. Maybe they're just trying shit, who knows? Late pushes, random ego chows, or chasing one extra kill. And the better players usually ask themselves, is this life actually worth it? If it's not helping the team win the next fight or control the map, they back off. That discipline alone can completely change the outcome of a close game. Trust me on that. And when you put all of these habits together, something interesting happens. Players who rank up quickly usually aren't just winning more gunfights. They're making smarter decisions over and over and over throughout the match, which slowly tilts the game in their favor. And a bunch of small edges stacking against each other. And once you start paying attention to those habits, you'll definitely start seeing them everywhere. Really quick though, some food for thought. If you feel like you are hard stuck, focus on one goal and that goal only for the next 10 games, because when you go into your ranked career stats, you can only see your last 10 games, right? So assume every 10 games you'll get a progress report. Let's say you crush it, you get a 1.2 to 2.0 for 10 games in a row with some objectives clocked in, of course. You can 100% assume that your HPR has gone up. So think of your last 10 games as like a progress report. So one goal that I set for myself a while back is to stop getting blooded, not just in search and destroy, but in both overload and hardpoint. And that alone helped me start to gain a little bit more SR. And for the next 10 games, one thing I started doing was stop sprinting and hold an iron a few seconds before I think I really should. And again, that helped me a lot as well. I will continue to start adding these micro habits into my gameplay, and we'll kind of just see how it goes, man. Also, before we duck out of here though, if you made it this far in the video, I invite you to the Collective Cortex Discord server. If you're somebody that makes content, if you're looking for some folks to grind ranked with, or hell, even if you just want to talk about anime, WWE, or send funny memes, we got a spot for you in the Collective Cortex Discord server. This will be the first link down in the description. But I'm curious, what do you guys think? What's one habit you notice that separates high-level players from everyone else? Let us know down in the comment section, or maybe you're one of those high-level players. That being said though, check out one of these 2 videos right here. If I had to pick which one for you to watch, I would say watch the 7 deadly sins of rank play. Or if you want some additional insight as to why ranked may feel a little bit harder in Black Ops 7, you could check that one out over there as well. I'll see you all over there.